A pink slip on the facade of a historic building is causing some alarm for residents in the mining city. Our Megan Thompson speaks with the Butte Historic Preservation Officer about why the notification is actually a good thing for the building and the community.
Here in the mining city, buildings like this have a huge historical significance to the community. So when pink slips like this, deeming a structure dangerous, end up on the facade of a building, it can be pretty alarming.
Scares people. People get, oh gosh, this one's gonna come down next, but that's not the case.
Kate McCourt is Butte Silver Bow's Historic Preservation Officer. Her job is to advise people on how to keep their historic buildings up to code so that they will last into the future.
We have a lot of buildings that are in need of a lot of work, and sometimes our landlords are not so present, but in this case of this building, we have a landlord that has jumped to action.
The building in question dates back to the turn of the 20th century and was created as an extension of the Thornton building that originally operated as a hotel on Broadway Street. According to a website that helps people navigate historic places in Butte, the Thornton Annex building offered unique features like sample rooms, which allowed for traveling salesmen to display their wares.
Our built environment kind of defines us as a community with a very historic uptown. So many things transpired within these walls that, it's really important to us that we keep the buildings in good shape.
Kate says the owner of the building has hired a structural engineer and is working with the county to restore the exterior where the 125-year-old bricks have begun to deteriorate. In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with meteorologist Eric Johnson.
Well, happy Memorial Day. If you have lived in Montana a long time, you know this time of year we can get some pretty unsettled and cool weather, but that is not the case this year. We have some summer-like warmth across the area for today. We're getting up to about 83 degrees over in Helena as we look from that Helena Opportunity Bank of Montana weather cam. 82 degrees for Great Falls. That's a good 14 degrees above our average high temperatures, which are getting close to 70 degrees. We'll be well above that through most of this week. But looking at your forecast today, we do run the risk of a couple of isolated showers and storms going into this evening. So there could be some gusty winds and even some small hail with some of those storms, but most of that is going to be after dinner time today and towards the 6 to 7 o'clock hour, I think is when we'll see those showers and storms developing. Now for Helena, that chance is pretty low today. It's below 20%, but there's still that risk for a quick storm, especially in the higher terrain. And we'll be looking at temperatures in the lower 80s for your afternoon. But going through the rest of this week, we'll stay mostly dry. We're looking at well above average temperatures. Most areas a good 10 to 20 degrees above average. We even have the chance for our first 90-degree reading of the season by Thursday. If not Thursday, then definitely this upcoming weekend where temperatures will be into the lower 90s. And that's courtesy of this high pressure ridge that's going to be kind of just sitting right over the west through most of this week. There will be a few disturbances that will try to move through, but really not causing much impact here other than just some gustier winds Thursday into Friday. But as we move into next week, we'll see a transition back to some cooler weather with high temperatures likely slipping back towards the 60s and 70s as opposed to the 80s and 90s. But again, looking at that future track for today, here's those isolated showers and storms that will form as the disturbance is going to be passing through. You can see they're going to contain very little rain. We're mainly just going to see some gusty winds, potentially some thunder and lightning. So if you're headed out on the boat, just keep that in mind and maybe have a way to access the radar for today. And then going into tomorrow, we'll still see a few isolated showers and storms that will push right across central Montana, and then those will dissipate going into the afternoon and evening. And we'll clear things out by Wednesday with those temperatures starting to heat up. But we're going to see pretty negligible rain amounts, most areas less than 1/10 of an inch. So nothing too beneficial as far as rain is concerned, but a pretty gusty day ahead. We're going to see 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts. We do have a lake wind advisory for Fort Peck Lake as we're expecting those wind gusts to really ramp up tonight. 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts possible in eastern Montana, and then that should start to diminish going into our Tuesday. But again, pretty warm temperatures. We're good 10 degrees above average, 76 White Sulphur Springs, 82 for you in Helena, and up here in central Montana, we're looking at early July-like weather with temperatures about 84 for Fort Benton and Great Falls. You're up to 76 today in Lewistown. And then for the high line, we'll be looking at temperatures into the 80s for this afternoon. And again, just a little bit breezy for eastern Montana. And here's that extended forecast. We drop to the 70s tomorrow. It should be a really pleasant Tuesday before those temperatures heat up. We're close to 90 on Thursday. We'll likely get into the low 90s by this Saturday.